concerned with acknowledgement. Really quick before I continue the presentation, I need to go back and clarify something concerning the MIRs. Students will receive 6 MIR per class. That's for academic and connection. So students will be referred individually by teacher once they receive their 6 infraction in their class. If a student receive their 6th infraction before the end of the semester, then any behavior that truly impedes the learning of the environment, then that becomes an automatic office referral. They get no more warnings, no more interventions until the 2nd semester, until that is when the MIR process starts all over again, and then they're again given those 6 chances to improve their behavior before an office referral is issued. Please note also that the clean slate is just for the MIRs, the classroom managed behavior. If a student is at 3 office referral at the beginning of January, then they are still there. If they get a major for something, then now they're at 4. If they get their 6th infraction in science later on in the 2nd semester, then now that makes their 5th. So office referrals do not start over, but MIRs will start over at the semester. Now back to acknowledgement. We will use various methods of acknowledging our students for exhibiting good behavior and modeling our expectations. In the PBIS survey, a few of you guys mentioned caught being good as a method of recognition. So this year we'll be using the caught being good. Very similar, it's basically the same thing as our positive behavior referrals. They will be given to students who are consistently demonstrating our school expectations, being respectful, courteous, managing their behavior, and then striving for excellence. All staff, teaching, office, building, cafeteria, bus drivers, and substitute teachers should be awarding caught being good. I have to admit that beginning of the year we started off really well with the PBRs and passing those out. And then I think, which some of you mentioned in the previous survey, that they were a little lengthy and you kind of got tired of actually filling those out. But it's going to be important, again, that we're consistent throughout the year in recognizing kids by using these caught being goods. Again, caught being good should be linked to the appropriate behavior on the location and the expectation matrix. So if you are in the lunchroom and you see a student who is picking up trash around the lunchroom, please make sure you give them a caught being good, because that is actually in our strive of excellence of going over and beyond. Also make sure that it is immediate, that soon as you see the student exhibiting that behavior, that you immediately give them a CBG so they know that their behavior was recognized and that it was appreciated. I have an example of a CBG or caught being good on the slide below. Just as with the PBR, you write the student's name, their grade, and the date that you provided them with the CBG. Unlike the PBR where we had various behaviors listed, I just have the expectations listed: being respectful, being courteous, managing your behavior, and then striving for excellence. One other change from the PBR to the CBG is that it's not mandatory that you write a comment. If you verbally tell the student why you are handing them giving them a CBG, then that is fine. Please make sure that you sign your name. So if the caught being good that you gave a student is the winner of a weekly drawing, I can make sure that you also receive your reward for giving out that CBG. Now let's talk about redeeming our CBG. Fridays will be our designated redeem day of CBG, but you may choose to allow your students to redeem at any point throughout the week. Students will redeem their CBGs with their homeroom teacher. They will transfer their CBGs into Pride books, which they can use on their register, which we'll talk more about in a second. Each CBG is worth 5 points each. At the beginning of first period, I will come around to collect any CBGs that were turned into you for the weekly drawing. Winners and prizes will be announced at the end of the day on Friday. Another acknowledgement or recognition system we will use is the mystery reward. One thing that the students asked for in their PBIS survey was that they wanted more recognition by Dr. Jenny. So how this works is students will be given a paper similar to a bingo card. Throughout the week, Dr. Tini will come over the intercom and announce when these acknowledgments should be given for certain behaviors. If students in your class at that particular time are exhibiting those behaviors, you will initial and date one of the students' squares. At a certain point in each 9 weeks, students who have a certain number of initials will receive a mystery prize from Dr. Tini. To start, our target behaviors and date have been a lot set aside based on last year's data. As we continue in grade levels, as you see students who are not exhibiting appropriate behaviors in certain areas or even certain target behaviors, please feel free to let Dr. Tini know, and that can be the focus of a particular week for mystery rewards. And here is an example of the mystery reward template. Again, you have your squares, and then as he come over and he announce what behavior that he wants to reward that day, you would just initial and date a square. This year we will also continue with Student of the Week. Like last year, each teacher is responsible for selecting their Student of the Week for their class. Their name should be posted on the teacher's classroom door. Dana was nice enough to design us a poster or display for Student of the Week. They're actually in my classroom. I will get those out to you next week before our first reveal of Student of the Week. Student of the Week will receive, you'll note a few changes, a Student of the Week badge, which also serve as their Fast Pass. The Fast Pass will allow them to break in front of any line. They have a free choice of seating during lunch for that week. Their name will be posted in the hallway, and then we will recognize them through the website and other social media. We will also continue with Student of the Month. Each team, which is now each grade level, will be responsible for selecting a Student of the Month. Names and pictures will still be posted in the foyer as you enter the school. Student of the Month will receive the following. Instead of Student of the Week receiving the Starburst, this will now become a Student of the Month prize. They will receive a Student of the Month pass package where they receive various passes. They will receive a certificate signed by their teachers and admin presented at the Pride Awards. You will hear more info about this later. This is basically a short award ceremony for our 9-week celebration. They will get special seating at lunch with 3 friends, and as with Student of the Week, they will have their pictures posted and names listed on the website and then other social media outlets. Another acknowledgement system that was requested in the faculty PBIS survey was the use of ebooks. With the shortage of paper, I thought that it would be easier to conserve if we use account register, similar to how we did before with EBIS. So we would still consider it as Pride books, but they would just keep up with their total on their account summary or their register. Teachers will be able to award the students Pride books on their account register that each student will keep up with. Students will be able to use Pride books to purchase rewards and access to special events. Where CBGs can be awarded by all staffs anywhere around the school and used for their drawing. The Pride books or register is a way for teachers within the classroom to awards to recognize and acknowledge students for exhibiting the expectations. And as I said before, the Books will allow the student to purchase rewards and access or basically passes for special events. There is a special section in your PBIS handbook that kind of guides you and outlines what are some ways you can, within the classroom, reward student pride books. If you are a veteran teacher who's been through PBIS, you probably already know ways you can award students with money or points, however you want to see it. But if you are a new teacher, that is a great guide to help you, and not only that, but also the veteran teachers on your team. Here's an example of the Pride Book activity. You have your columns. The first column is the date. The second one is deposits. That's where you write down any Pride Books that you give them. The third column is withdrawals. This is where you take off any Pride Book. Say they brought from the school store. Say they brought passes for a game or ice cream pass. The fourth column is the teacher initial, where they sign, and then the last column is the balance. Going back to the teacher initials, please make sure you initial in pen, or if you have a stamp, you can stamp it that way, because in the past, students have tried to forge teacher signature in order to add points. And again, if you are a veteran teacher, you notice that it looks exactly like the one we used to have when we had PBIS. I figured, why invent the rule when we already have this? Other recognition: school store, grade level pride chain, which is basically competition between grade levels, 9 weeks celebration, as well as monthly celebration. There will be more info to come concerning the celebrations once criteria has been finalized by the PBIS committee. The last section, Monday meetings. We are going to have Monday meetings, not every week. That was the original plan. We will only have Monday meetings every week during August, but we will also add to that every day for the first week of school. During that time, we will work on PBIS lessons, teachers as advisors, and character education lessons. We will run last year's FLP schedule, so these meetings will be 45 minutes in length. Every teacher will be involved in Monday meetings. We will have these through homeroom. Connections teachers will be assigned to classroom. The lessons will be provided to everyone to teach. You will be responsible for materials, any handouts that you need, but for most of them, they are things that students can complete on their own paper. First week of school, as I said, we will run the Monday meeting schedule every day for the first week of school in order to teach the overview of PBIS and to introduce the lessons for our 4 main expectations. These will all be in the PBIS folder that I share with you guys. They're all step by step. They're very organized and very easy to follow. This concludes our presentation for PBIS. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And again, thank you for your time and attention.